Welcome to Zion's podcast, Casting for Christ. It is Wednesday, February the 24th, in the year of our Lord 2021, and we are back. We come to you from our studio at Zion Lutheran Church in Castroville. I'm your host, Pastor Greg. Members, we ask that you see your daily emails that come from the church for Zion news and notes. We don't have any trivia question today, but I do have a devotion for you that was written by Dr. Carrie Vo of Lutheran Hour Ministries, and it's entitled Jesus in the Boat. And it's based on Mark chapter 4, verse 35 through 36, and also 37a and verse 38. That passage reads, "On that day, when evening had come, Jesus said to them, 'Let us go across to the other side.' And leaving the crowd, they took him with them in the boat, just as he was. And a great windstorm arose, and the waves were breaking into the boat. But he was in the stern, asleep on the cushion. And they woke him and said to him, 'Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?'" You know, storms can be very scary, especially when you're in a tiny boat far from shore. Even the disciples who had spent their whole lives on boats were frightened. Would they go to the bottom this time? So they woke Jesus up, and they whined, "Don't you even care we're gonna die?" So Jesus sat up, and he dealt with the storm, and then asked his disciples, "Why are you so afraid?" He could say the same thing to you and me, couldn't he? We have storms in our lives. Sickness and danger and grief and loss, things that threaten to swamp our tiny little boats. And we know that we could go under so easily. Of course we're afraid. And yet we have Jesus. As long as he is with us, we're not going to perish. Even if it looks like he's asleep, we're going to make it. The storm knows its master. So what should we do when we're frightened? Just what the disciples did, though hopefully with better manners. We can ask God for help, knowing that he has all power. We can trust in him to save us. After all, he loves us enough to die for us. Yes, and to rise again so that we can have everlasting life. Because he loves us, we are safe in his hands. Would you fold your hands and bow your heads as I pray? Dear Lord, when I am afraid, help me trust in you. Okay, let's wrap up our podcast for today with a reminder about Zion's various media ministry offerings on Facebook and YouTube. Each Sunday, watch the live stream of our worship service with communion on Facebook Live at 10 a.m. Each service will be archived for future viewing on Zion's Facebook pages, as well as uploaded to our YouTube channel after the service. And on Tuesdays, beginning at 9 a.m., catch Lessons from the Garden with Garden Granny and Company, archived after that. And also this podcast, Casting for Christ, each Wednesday, beginning at 10 a.m., and archived after that. This is Pastor Greg, your host for Casting for Christ, encouraging you to walk with light, the light of Jesus Christ. We will meet again next week. God's richest blessings for all of you.